Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to Cilinix Crypto. Hope you're all doing great and welcome to yet another alt season / altcoins update. I don't think for clarification that we are in an alt season right now. Could we get into one? Who knows, right? Everything is possible. You should be ready for that. We should also be ready for a deeper pullback, but more on that in this video. But in this video, we're going to do a full outlook and analysis on altcoins, right? And you know, how are altcoins doing? What can we expect from altcoins? Can we expect some sort of a new rally? The last time we have really seen altcoins rally was at the beginning of July. That was great. Those times were definitely amazing. But outside of that, August into the beginning of August, we saw quite a lot of momentum as well. But I would argue that was more of recovery rather than a real rally, right? Because we had found resistance, we dropped down below support, and then we recovered above that support and rallied a little bit higher than resistance. But ultimately, if we take a look at others, right, and I say this in every altcoin video, but it's crucial so you actually know what we're talking about. This is the chart we're looking at. So that's the total market cap excluding the top 10. And that has actually been relatively stable since the middle of July, right? In this level right here. And we've been bouncing up and down in that area. Here and there we have some sort of a deviation, but we are waiting for a breakout. Now, as most of you know, because of the fundamentals, which we'll still dive into a little bit later, and the technicals, because if you look at the daily time frame, we are still in some sort of an uptrend, and especially on the 3-day time frame, we're definitely in an uptrend right here. Because of that, I still do think that out of this consolidation that we are in, I do think we're going to get a bullish breakout. But the question is that, all right, well, now we have bounced from the yearly rolling VWAP. That's great, and we're nearing the top of the range again right here at 312 and $310 billion. But can we actually expect a breakout? Or are we just going to find resistance again, reject, and drop back down? Which is good to know, especially if you're in shorter term positions. And look, you can never be fully certain. And one of the key reasons why I think at some point of time we are going to get this breakout is the fundamentals, right? And there are some major fundamental things happening. At this point of time, the fundamentals are good. Nvidia earnings last evening were fine. The S&P 500 pre-market is almost at all-time highs right here. The S&P 500 right here, you can see is the normal one, has traded at all-time highs yesterday. Volatility index is still incredibly low. Gold is incredibly stable. Dollar strength index is also stable. I would prefer to see this a little bit lower, but okay. And then some niche things like the Russell 2000, risky assets, are also doing great. And then one of the key things that can actually orchestrate a breakout is the news that we have in the next 48 hours, 36 hours. And that's GDP data and inflation rate data on Friday. I think it's unlikely, let me preface this by saying I think it's unlikely that we're going to break out at the end of August. It's a possibility. I think it's unlikely. I think at this point of time, it's more likely that, we will get some more bullish momentum, but that we will reject and that we will drop back down into the range. That's what I think is most likely. The one thing, though, that can happen, which could start a breakout, is good data in the next, like I said, 36 hours. All right? And there's 3 main data events coming out. First of all, we have initial jobless claims today at 12:30 UTC. At the same point of time, we have GDP data coming out, also 12:30 UTC, same time. And then tomorrow at 12:30 UTC, we have the core PCE price index. What I need to see, the fundamentals that could be bullish enough to orchestrate a bullish breakout, would be higher than expected initial jobless claims and continuing jobless claims, higher than expected GDP growth rates and a GDP price index, and lower than expected inflation rate data. Now, trust me, asking for that is like a dream, right? It's most likely not going to happen. So that's also why I'm telling you, I think it's most likely that we are going to get some more bullish momentum for altcoins, but reject. But those circumstances, I think fundamentally could be good enough to see economic growth in the United States and see rate cuts, right? Which is amazing for the financial world and the financial markets. So in that scenario, I could see a breakout here at the end of August. Otherwise, I think we're going to have to stay in this range for a little bit longer, and that we have to wait for, let's say September, October, maybe even November for a breakout, which is not amazing. But it's definitely also not the end of the world. So those are my thoughts. That's what I think you need to know regarding altcoins for now. Hopefully that helps. Have a great day, everybody. Have a great Thursday. Be ready for the news. That's it for now. Thank you and bye.